Okay, so hopefully things are working here. Welcome to GameJonez. I am Tiberius Jones, and hopefully things are working. I am going to attempt to pull up the stream on my phone. Jericho is going to hopefully join us shortly. He is currently working, so I'm going to stream alone for a while. And while I am in the menus here, we will be temporarily by ourselves. So bear with me while I pull up the stream on my phone here. We appear to be live.
Taco Bell's latest front traditional fried chicken.
I see an ad is playing, so that looks like it's good stuff. Turn the volume down here. With any luck, that it's going to show me an actual live video here. Hey, I see the menu playing, so it looks like we are actually live. Welcome. So, let's see how this works. So, now, part of the way this is going to go today is I'm not going to be taking comments or responding to that today, because this is the first day that I am actually practicing live the new Ryzen system. Because what's actually going on is I have new parts coming tomorrow. This whole thing has been kind of a nightmare getting the system going. Essentially what's been going on is getting the new build built has been a real nightmare. And to say the least, getting this build built as well for a nightmare. So tomorrow new parts will be coming. Final build will actually get built tomorrow because, well, I guess real quick. So, I ordered parts originally about 6 weeks ago for the build, and the first board that I actually bought was a BioStar motherboard. That board was bad, so I ordered another board. That board was bad. Then the processor was bad. Then I ordered another board. That board was bad. So Newegg replaced that board. I ordered a different board, which was a Gigabyte Gaming 5 board. Turned out that board was bad. So they replaced that board. Then there were problems with that board. And they replaced that board. Oh my god. To say that this has been a nightmare would be an understatement of the century. Oh my god. This whole Ryzen problem has been, oh my god. This has been, you know, I've built many systems in the past, 10 years, but this has been an unbelievable process getting this system built. I guess, if you're going to build a Ryzen system, I would say that the one thing you really want to pay attention to is your memory, because I guess in the last 5 or 6 days, the one thing that I have learned more than anything is that the memory probably is the main thing you have to pay attention to, because really the root of the problem has turned out to be that the memory is the main thing you have to pay attention to. Yeah. So, here's the scary thing is, in overclocking, it turns out, the big thing with these Ryzen builds is they're extremely overclockable. So, going into this whole thing, I was really excited about the prospect of being able to overclock my board and being able to overclock the system and, really being able to unleash the potential of this entire system. So going into this whole thing, I was really excited about the potential of being able to find out what this whole thing could do. And so going into it, that was really the reason I was excited about this entire thing. And I know what I'm doing for the most part, and I feel like going into it, that was the whole reason for getting into this. So when I got into it, I really felt like I was prepared to get into this, and I did all my research, and I felt like I was fully prepared to do this. And so when I first got the hardware in the beginning, I felt like I was prepared for what I was getting into. So when I first got the original BioStar board, which was the GT7 racing board, I got a 1700X processor, and I originally got Corsair LPX 3200 RAM, that motherboard and that processor. I got it up and running initially, and everything seemed to be going okay. And then the first thing that happened was, it was a dual BIOS board. And the first thing that happened was, one of the two BIOSes went bad. And I was like, okay, what the hell? And so the first thing I did was RMA that first board. And this is like 24 hours into the initial build. This is like 6 weeks ago. So that's the first thing that went wrong. And I wasn't sure what the problem was, and I was trying to track down the problems, and I couldn't tell if it was the board, if it was the RAM, if it was Windows updates. And the problem is for you guys who are getting into this or are looking to buy one of these boards, or a processor, or any of the above, there's a lot of stuff that's moving parts in this whole thing, and it's really hard to figure out what could be the potential problem getting into this. There are just so many moving parts, that it really became a confusing mess. So it depends, if you're trying to figure out what could be a potential problem, first of all, there could be a lot of problems. So I'm not sure where to start here, because for those of you that might have questions about problems that you're specifically having, there's a lot of different questions that I can answer for you, because I have experienced a lot of different problems, and I've actually solved a lot of different problems along the way. So if you have questions, I can probably answer a lot of them, but I can tell you that, first of all, memory is going to be the major solution to a lot of problems off the top. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, with any of your builds, make sure that you do research the memory off the top. And my major suggestion would be to research your memory off the top. And if you want to just solve a lot of problems, make sure that whatever board you're going to buy, get the right memory off the top.
Setting your route to the nearest race.
that's going to solve a lot of problems for you off the top. I mean, if you know, honestly, if you want to have the least amount of problems off the top, you're probably going to want to spend more money on your memory at the beginning if you want to have the least amount of problems. Now, long term, you know, if you're going to be patient and wait down the road to have more performance down the road, and you don't mind waiting to have more performance down the road and spend, you know, less money now to have more performance down the road, then you can spend less money now and buy, you know, Corsair memory or Crucial memory or something like that, and you'll get 3200 megahertz performance down the road. But the fact is you're probably not going to get that now unless you buy FlareX memory, and that's just kind of what I found out. If you want to get 3200 megahertz performance now, you're probably going to have to buy FlareX memory. That's just what the deal is right now, because the fact is for what I found is basically FlareX memory for Ryzen is the only memory that's going to be guaranteed to get you 3200 megahertz performance out of the box right now across pretty much, if not all the boards, most of the boards out of the box. Because the fact is the way this works is most of the motherboard manufacturers have a QVL list that they release for memory that works on their boards, but FlareX actually has their own QVL list for boards that work out of their memory, which is, you know, reverse of the way it usually works. So you can actually go to GSkill's website and look at the FlareX list and see what motherboards actually work for their memory. Now, the disadvantage is, unfortunately, the FlareX memory, that memory only goes up to 3200 megahertz up to 16 gigabyte modules, which means if you want to get 3200 megahertz memory, you can only do that up to 2 times 8, so 16 gigabytes. You know, and I wanted to get 32 gigabytes, which means, you know, I was looking at 2 times 16 to get 32 gigabytes of memory. That was my problem. So when I wanted to build my system, I wanted to have 32 gigabytes of memory and not 16 gigabytes. So kind of that was the whole problem from the beginning, was I wanted to have 32 gigabytes of memory from the beginning, not 16 gigabytes. You know, most people are looking to build their system and they just want to have 16 gigabytes of memory, not 32 gigabytes. So the whole problem for me started from the beginning that I wanted to have 32 gigabytes of memory. So in the beginning, I was looking at that situation. So the fact is these Ryzen systems right now, there are no memory modules that support 32 gigabytes of memory at 32 megahertz out of the box early on, because the AGESA releases right now, and AGESA basically is the code that's released for these systems right now, the BIOSes. You know, that's the code that's released for the BIOSes, and because AMD released these motherboards early for the Ryzen language, basically the boards aren't ready because these were released by AMD so quickly. The stuff isn't ready yet, and so if you are on the bleeding edge and you're one of these guys like me that's out here and wants to have this stuff right away, if you want to have 32 gigs of memory or more, there simply are no memory modules out here for 32 gigs of memory or more that are ready to support 32 gigs of memory at 3200 megahertz or faster out of the box. So you're going to basically, if you want to have that size of memory, you're basically buying that memory on the assumption that down the road, these motherboard manufacturers are going to be able to update their code to support that speed of memory. That's the bottom line. So if you're going to invest that money to get that memory, you're taking a leap of faith that down the road these manufacturers are going to be able to support that memory speed. So you can buy that memory now and run it at 2133, or what I found out basically is over the weekend. So what happened was I was trying to run it at 3200 megahertz, which wasn't possible. Then I got it running at 2933 initially, which after I RMA'd the first board, the second board I got wouldn't run it at that. Then I got it running at 2667, but it wasn't stable. And then this weekend, now I'm running at 2400. And 2400 is stable. So right now, what you're seeing right now is I can run this game at 2400 stable, and everything is fine. Right
In 400 yards,
this is running
turn
at
right.
2400 megahertz. Everything seems to be stable. This game is running at 60 frames per second. As you can see in the upper hand corner, it's 60 frames per second.
Turn
stable.
right.
Seems to be rock solid. It hasn't crashed on me.
Turn
I did this for
around
like 2
when
hours
it is
last
safe
night.
to do so.
Everything seems to be fine. We'll see if it's doing today. So far, I mean, this seems to be fine at 2400 megahertz. This is as fast as I can get it. And this is, again, this is the GSkill 16.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
But this is 32 gigs. This is 2 times 16 modules. And it will not run faster than 4 modules. Now, if you get the FlareX, which is 2 times 8 modules, you can get 16 gigs of this.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Bots, no problem. That's the best you can do on the Ryzen chip at this point, from what I've researched. So that's the bottom line. If you're going to Ryzen
Recalculating
today,
route. Turn around when it is safe to do so. You have a bucket list challenge to complete nearby. Would you like me to set a route there for you?
So that's the bottom line. The thing is that FlareX memory is really expensive. I mean, you're talking $250, $260 to get 16 gigs.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
And you can get, I'm sorry, 16 gigs of that is actually $166. If you get 32 gigs of that, it's like, $300. It's really, really now, the 32 gigs for that type of disk is like $230.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Or you can buy 36 FlareX and spend double that. So the trade-off is you get what I got, and wait however long it's going to take to
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
now the thing is gaming, the real world difference between 2400 speed and 3200 speed is really not that big a difference. Now where it does make a difference is those that do there is
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Those of us who video have to actually decode large video, there is going to be a difference. Now, the difference is not that big. I was watching a video yesterday, and a guy was talking about this where, if you're going to do an hour-long video and you're going to decode an hour-long video, it's still not that big a difference. If you do, an hour-long video and you decode an hour-long video, basically the difference between 2400 RAM and 3200 RAM, even decoding an hour-long video, the difference is only about 2 minutes. So it's not like that's a huge difference. Between a 2400 RAM and a 3200 RAM, to decode an hour-long video, you're only talking a 2-minute difference. So is it really worth you spending another $150 to get that difference in RAM to save 2 minutes of your hour? I mean, that's something you have to decide for yourself. But, I would say no. But there are those people that, when you get to the top of the food chain and you're going to spend, the difference between, this system that I'm looking at, this is $1,000 system, but if you're going to spend another $500 in your system, it might be worth it to you to spend that extra money to save that 2 minutes, especially if you're doing, if your YouTube channel, if you're investing 40 hours a week into your channel, and then you extrapolate that over a year, and that's, 400 hours a year that you're spending on your channel. Well, those 2 minutes a week, those 2 minutes add up. Then it might be worth your time and your money to spend that extra money to get that RAM to save you that amount of time, and then, your electric bill or whatever. I mean, to me, the electric money doesn't really make a difference, because the fact is with this DDR4, the voltage actually is so much less than it was with DDR3 that really the electricity pays for itself over time anyway. So to me, the voltage argument is nil. So, I mean, that part of it kind of goes out the window as far as I'm concerned. But the time investment does add up. So you have to make up your mind on that anyway. But the bottom line is, as far as the inconvenience factor, I can tell you that my frustration factor over the last month, do your RAM research, because you do not want to spend 6 weeks like I just did going through all this to find out that, it's not your motherboard, it's not your processor that's the problem, it's not your video card that's the problem, because I thought that was, I've been thinking for the last 6 weeks that the whole problem was either the motherboard or my video cards. That's not been the problem with this whole system. It's been the memory has been the problem the whole time. So, whatever you do, you've got to make your decision based on the RAM that you buy with these Ryzen systems. It really comes down to the RAM that you buy. So whatever you're going to do your research on your memory, because that really is going to be the crux.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
The gaming performance is really good for the most part. Now, Forza, it's weird that I'm actually playing this game for you, because the reason I chose to play this game today is because...
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
This game is more taxing than any game on the market. The code in this game is terrible, first of all. Across the board for video cards and for CPUs.
Recalculating route.
This game is just poorly optimized. So part
In
of the
400 yards, turn right.
RAM. So, it's almost unfair for me to actually choose this. But that's actually part of the reason I chose to play this game, because it actually shows how good
Turn
Ryzen
around
is
when it is safe to do so.
Because this game is actually unfair to
200
Ryzen,
yards,
it's unfair to
turn
Intel.
right. Turn
It's
right.
just unfair to anybody to actually play this game to try to show how good any hardware is.
Turn around
So to show
when it
that
is
this
safe
game
to do
actually
so.
plays well on a Ryzen system actually shows how good Ryzen is. Because look how smooth this is playing. I mean, I'm getting 60 frames pretty consistently. It drops down to 59 for an instant. And this is fully maxed out, so I'll show you the settings. I've got everything maxed out. The only now I will tell you that with this game, by the way, you want to have frame rate smoothing off. This is just a hint for this game, because frame rate smoothing will kill this game on any settings. But everything is maxed out. Ultra across the board. 8 times MSAA, FXAA is on. Ultra, 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 ultra. Everything across the board. Everything is maxed out. Okay. So, I've got this thing cranked up all the way, and we're getting 60 frames. So,
Recalculating route in 100 yards. Turn right. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I can tell you that I never got 60 frames in this game before I got this Ryzen processor. Now, I'm running 17.1.2 drivers from February
it is safe to do so.
So, if you go to more current drivers, you may or may not have a problem. I don't know. I know that now I'm running twin RX 480s in this machine, 8 gigabytes in Crossfire. Now, this game is not Crossfire friendly, so you know you may not have different results.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Technically, I should be having problems. So, actually, it might be better if you don't have a problem.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Recalculating route.
Now, if you look just where those, no, I can't pause it. Where those signs are in the road, those arrow signs. A lot of times, like when I would drive into this part of the city here, that texture situation where the grass is just beyond those arrow signs. If I was going at full speed coming into this area, that grass part would actually fill in with either full white textures or it would turn black, because there's a known issue with this game where at certain points the texture would not fill in on the game, and I don't know what's causing that problem, and nobody knows actually what the problem is with that. If it's a texture problem, if it's a well, I don't know how to describe it actually, and I have not been able to recreate it since last night. Because basically, since I downclocked it hasn't been happening. I can't pinpoint if it's a memory issue. I guess maybe it is. It happened.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Keep left. In 200 yards, turn left. Turn around when it is safe to do so. Recalculating route. Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 200 yards, turn left. Turn left. In 400 yards, turn left.
I may actually have to load in a car that's faster because it usually would only happen at over 200 miles an hour. So I'm going to go to, I'll go to,
Turn left.
see if I can recreate that.
Turn around.
Oh, that's better. So I'll go to a festival and we'll load in a faster car and I'll see if I can get to 200 miles an hour. And I'll go to one of the where that happens. Oh, nice.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Recalculating route. In 400 yards, bear right. Keep.
Actually, you know what? I know this is probably really loud. You may have loud this is. You may be having difficulty hearing me in here. See how loud this is. Okay, so the volume level should be better now for you. So I'm going to pick a faster car now, and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to pull in something that we can hit over 200 miles an hour now. So I bring this in, we should be able to hit an area where we get over 200 miles an hour and try to recreate this texture load-in problem. And this should create that texture load-in issue and really see if we can create that problem. This guy really okay, so now I'm going to take it outside of the town. This car will definitely get us. Now we got some texture popping. Now what you're going to look for is you'll notice texture popping across the top of the screen like in layers like strata across large swatches. The other thing is the successful thing we usually have is more in this video outside of the market. It happens less than a coffee deal. So if you want to make this at home, this is the video we're going to do. And from what I've done in the forums, also, you want to have the environmental textures cranked up. If you turn on the environmental textures, the environmental textures to medium or high, it's going to happen less frequently. car's gonna do about 250 miles an hour. So that's really, really long. Temperature fill problem should happen as the temperature approach the skyline. I want to look at the base of the ground.
There for you. Who needs professional stunt performers when I've got you?
Problem is it's raining. Doing us any favors, unfortunately. Okay, let me grab a different car. This is not going to work for this. Let me grab a Ferrari because GTB. My favorite cars. This thing handles like a dream. Travel to a different part of the map here. Let's go over to let's see. Yes. definitely is a known spot for that texture loading problem.
I don't even need to work PR. Your brand of craziness sells itself.
See how the trees and distance they are loading in?
for you.
I didn't see any texture popping that whole time.
You've arrived at your destination.
So I would say the memory thing pretty much solved it. I'm thinking if you plop it down to 2400, it'll pretty much solve that whole problem. Oh. Oh, I saw a fence pop in there for a second. See that over the bridge? It's the first time I saw it. Oh. Really brief. Right away, guys. Let's see it. Pretty impressive, though. I mean, that's the only one I saw the entire time. I'm so used to seeing so much of it. Maybe it's a problem. This is such a good board. So my question is, I'm wondering why fucking memory because to me that's counterintuitive. You would think fucking memory down would have the opposite impact. Why would slowing memory down improve the texture fill rate? That seems to be what's happening. It's improving the texture fill rate. seems so weird. I'd like to get somebody else's opinion on that, why that's happening, or if somebody has a technical knowledge of that, why that's allowing that to happen. But that does seem really counterintuitive to me. Face this guy. get it.
When it is safe to do so.
Take a break for a minute, go smoke a cigarette, and stop the stream. And I will resume in about 10 or 15 minutes. Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. This is GameJonez. I'm GSkill Jones, and I shall return. Peace.